Hey everybody! So today we are going to learn about something that is not exactly related to English class, but it kind of is. There's writing involved, technically. Today we're going to learn about how to read and write a check. I feel kind of ambivalent about doing this because there are already like a whole bunch of YouTube videos about how to do this. So I'm not really adding to the literature in a way that is meaningful and necessary. But a number of my students have expressed that, they feel that they need to be taught how to do this. And, this is something that school should cover. Well, I'm in school, so I'm going to cover it. This is despite the fact that one of the skills that I hope to help my students develop is the ability to find information that they need without me giving it to them. Hopefully this will be useful. I question that utility. Honestly, y'all, leave me a comment. Tell me, when was the last time that somebody you knew actually wrote a check? And what was it for? I would love to know. I write a check about once a month. Very rarely in addition to that. And it's for our half of the family phone bill. And part of a lot of checks I can send through our bank. So I just say, hey, bank, send a check to so-and-so. They fill it out and everything. It's great. I could just give cash, but as it happens, I have checks that look really cool that I really like using. And I don't want to send them off to just like the phone company on my own or the utility. No, I'm going to save them for like friends and family. So that's why I send a check to a family member to help pay the phone bill. Let's go ahead and take a look. You're going to see how. So I have my checks I use checks so rarely that these are super old. Okay. So I have this old checkbook. See, breast cancer awareness. And if you look here, you can see that it says Wachovia. Folks, Wachovia became Wells Fargo in 2008. But these checks are still usable, and I'm about to explain why when we go over what is in a check and how it works. So up here, we have the name of the person or organization that the check is from. That's almost always in that section. It could be a business or an institution, but here it's from me. It's got my address there. And then it has the bank's information here, which apparently is not all that important because I don't know if there's a Wells Fargo at that address. Maybe there is. I don't know. We use the one in a different area now because we've moved since 2008. So, and then down here, this is the part that's slightly more important. So this first set of numbers is the bank's routing number. That is what tells the bank that is cashing the check what bank to get the money from. The second set, that's your account number at your bank, or this is the account that the money is coming from. And then the last number, notice that it's small, is the check number, which is also up here in most cases. All right. So those are the things that are already going to be on your check. Now, when I get checks, I always make sure that I get like checks with duplicates. So this has a carbon copy, and we're going to take a look at how that works. So everything that I write on the check is going to come through to this copy. And so all the information that's on the printed copy of the check is also here as well. All right. So I'm going to write out a dummy check. My checkbook also has a little slip of plastic here that you put underneath the carbon copy. If you put it on top of the carbon copy, it won't write through. But this way, you don't write on, the pressure doesn't go through to the carbon copy of the check below it. Otherwise, it makes the carbon copies hard to read. Today is May 25th, 2022. So up here on my beautiful, beautiful check, I'm going to write today's date. I'm going to use my special blue pen. Honestly, places will take your money even if you don't write in like blue or black ink. But blue or black ink is considered more professional. So take that for what it's worth. When I am sending checks to friends and family, I use purple, I use green, I use pink, I use fun colors because I like fun colors. But blue is nice too. All right, so the date, May 25th, 2022. You can also write like 5/25, 2022 or 22. I like to write it out so that it's clear. It is very important to write clearly. I work with teenagers. Some of y'all have terrible handwriting. Take your time and write clearly. The date is not as important as like the numbers of the money. Writing those numbers clearly is super, super important. You don't want your account to be overdrawn because the bank that is cashing this check read it wrong and took out too much money from your account. Don't do that, okay? So here where it says paid to the order of, this is who is getting the money. When you are given a check from somebody else, like a paycheck, that's where your name goes. That means you get the money. Yay. When I do example work up here on the board, I'm going to turn this a little bit this way. I don't know if you can see that. I've got an example MLA format set up there. And my default is Sue Smith. So we're going to set this up for Sue Smith. So pay to the order of Sue Smith. So once again, writing neatly. Sue Smith. It's super important to have that be easy to read as well. If you have any question about what you need to put there, like if you use a nickname with them and that may not be the name that their bank has for them, then you want to make sure you check with them and write the name that they're going to be able to cash the check for. Otherwise, again, causes problems. So over here, this is where you put the amount of the check in digits. All right, so we're going to look at that. Let's say, let's make it $125. I'm feeling generous. 1, 2, 5, period, 0, 0. I don't know why it does this, but I learned that you put the cents amount, make sure you put that decimal point nice and clear. I do not want to be giving $12,500. I do not have $12,500, folks. I'm a teacher. I don't have $12,500. Anyway, so I want to make sure the correct amount goes to Sue. So a couple different ways. Putting the cents in smaller digits and putting a little line under it underscores that those are not dollars. Those are like pennies. So no pennies. So next, over here on the line below the name, this is just dots for me. But notice over here that it says dollars. So now I have to write this out in words. So 120 5 and no /00. So 125 and, so you may have learned this in math class, and it's not $125. It's $125. The and tells us where the decimal point is. So 125 and I use the word no and then 00 to indicate that they are hundredths of a dollar because it just says dollars. So 125 and no hundredths of a dollar. And then if you don't write big like I do and you have some extra space, you put a line there so that somebody can't come in and include other stuff on the check and say, actually, no, and 1,000. So you just fill in the extra space. So then down here, you have 2 lines at the bottom. 4, which is really honestly so that if you have the duplicates, which I do, it'll show on the duplicate what you spent your money on. And then over here, this is where you'll sign. So I'm going to go ahead and do both. So let's say Sue is a friend of mine, and actually I'm sending this to her for her birthday. So for birthday gift, and then my signature. So those of you who are my students will recognize this. This is my signature. And notice that it doesn't have to be like your full legal name in cursive. I sign things decold. I sign really fast because I have signed so many passes over the course of years and years and years and years and years and years and years of teaching. So this is my signature. It doesn't have to say my full name. It is supposed to be in cursive, but essentially especially teenagers. You guys are young. Play with your signature. Come up with something that feels natural and feels like you. So then also the note for the birthday gift. And then what I can do is when I turn and I look at this, so I'll tear out the check and I'll give it to Sue, or maybe I'll mail it to her if I don't get to see her that often, whatever. She doesn't really exist, so it doesn't matter. But if you notice, the other checks that I have in here, it's just these. So when I tear this out, I've still got this. So I can see I sent Sue Smith the check for $125 for her birthday. So I still have this as a way to balance the checkbook. Fun fact, I never balance my checkbook. I think there's like a register in the back that you can write down the checks and like tally it out. Look, everything's online now. So I can just log into my account at my bank and it gives me that list and it does the arithmetic for me, which is super helpful. I mean, I'm not bad at arithmetic, but I forget to like carry the one and stuff like that. And I'm not always as careful as I should be. And when I can when I have the opportunity to just log in and the online program calculates it for me anyway, why would I not use that service? I think that's everything. That is how to write and read a check. So that will hopefully help if you get a check to you, if you have any questions about it. This will help you understand how it works and how to write a check for somebody to give somebody else some of your money, I guess. Hopefully you won't have to do that too often. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye for now, everybody.